This is Alex Bodonic, and this is my assessment final for Dr. Starkey. The first takeaway that I got from Dr. Starkey was learning how to use essential questions. Essential questions are meant to suggest inquiry, initiate higher order or critical thinking. They are not meant to be a simple yes or no question, and there's not always a right or wrong. These are some examples of things that are not essential questions. How many legs do dogs have? How many cookbooks did Dr. Starkey give away? What is cheese made out of? As you can see, Buster thinks that these are all bad essential questions. Some examples of good essential questions are: what is justice? What is freedom? Why is reading important? Why is the sky blue? What is the answer to life? As you can see, Buster gives these questions a thumbs up. You may be wondering why you need to know essential questions, and I am going to tell you. Essential questions allow students to think outside the box, show you their creativity, and display a higher level of thinking. It is important to know how to successfully pose essential questions so that you can allow your students to do these things. The next topic I am going to be talking about is my Williamsport experience at Jackson Primary School. There were a few positive takeaways that I remember. One of them was the student artwork being displayed. Upon entering the school, you were bombarded with everything the students had made throughout the year, and it was really cool to see all of the different ways they expressed themselves. It was a good thing to see that art is still being incorporated in schools. Another thing that I took away was that the bonding with the students was something I really enjoyed. The students were all very warm to me and accepting and loved having me in their classroom. It made me very excited to be there and even more excited to start teaching in the future. And the third thing that was positive at Jackson Primary was the enthusiastic principal. As soon as we walked in, he took us into the auditorium and gave us a positive meeting, showed us all of the positive rules in the school, like be present, be respectful, be responsible, and just really encouraged us to have the best time we could at Jackson. There were also some not so positive takeaways. In my kindergarten classroom, there seemed to be a lack of patience. The teacher was quick to get a little bit annoyed or irritated when the students were not doing what they were told or if they were having trouble with something. There didn't seem to be a lot of kindness in the classroom because the teacher was constantly yelling. I didn't see any signs of differentiation during any of the lessons. Every student was pretty much doing the same thing except for one or two students who worked with a special education teacher, and it wasn't really co-teaching being used effectively. There was also a ton of yelling in the room, which made it kind of hard to have a positive environment. What I gained from this experience, you must provide positive feedback to students, encourage students to always do their best, and remain calm when students do not understand the content, so that they and you do not become frustrated. What you must not do: yell at problem behavior, be impatient, and move on when the students are not ready to move on. What differentiation is not? A lot of people have some misconceptions about what differentiation actually is. They may think that it's a hands-on activity or a PowerPoint that you use for students who are visual. And a lot of people often think that differentiation is a kind of accommodation, such as bolder text inside of a book or louder audio during a presentation, maybe moving students closer who can't see, but this is not differentiation. What differentiation is a hard word to say, and it is adjusting instruction and assessment to meet varying needs. You can adjust based on students' readiness, interest, and learning profile, and you can vary your process, product, and content. You want to make sure that you are meeting the needs of as many students as you can by varying your practices, because we know that all students do not learn the same and are not the same. and it's our job to teach them in a way that suits them. What I gained from talking about differentiation: a true understanding of what that hard word differentiation really is, a real-life example on how to actually differentiate in the classroom by doing all of the in-class activities with our groups, and I think enough practice to effectively differentiate in my future classroom, which is something that I think is very important. Okay, always remember to be kind, caring, and compassionate. Thank you, and the end.